All right, so we're trying a new recipe because the holidays are the most perfect time to experiment, right? We're starting off with 1/3 cup of brown sugar and then 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. And we'll just mix this together and then just set it aside. All right, now let's make our batter. We're gonna mix 1 stick of softened butter with 2/3 cup of flour, salt, sugar. It's been a morning, guys. I am mixing so fast. All right, now I'm gonna add in my eggs. I'm gonna do it one at a time. Number 2. Now 1½ teaspoons of vanilla extract. Now in a separate bowl, I'm gonna mix in 1½ cups of flour and 1½ teaspoons of baking powder. All right, now let's add in my wet ingredients. Now I'm gonna add in 1/2 cup of milk. All right, now let's start layering. I'm gonna do about half of my batter into my bread pan. All right, and then I diced up 2 apples, so I'm gonna add half of that into my bread pan. And then about half of this brown sugar mixture that we made. All right, now let's add in the rest of my batter. Now we'll add in the rest of my apples, and then the rest of our brown sugar cinnamon mixture. All right, now bake at 350 for 30 to 40 minutes. The loaf is out of the oven and cooled down, so now let's transfer it to this absolutely beautiful cake stand that I was gifted. Okay, so my absolute favorite icing is cream cheese, so that's what we're gonna be making. I'm starting with 1/2 block of cream cheese, which I think is 4 ounces, and then 2 tablespoons of butter. Now I'm gonna make my stand mixer do all the work. Okay, now I've got 1 cup of powdered sugar, but I'm only gonna add in about half of that right now. And just whisk this. Right now I'm just gonna add the last of the powdered sugar. Okay, now I'm gonna add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and 1 tablespoon of heavy cream. I might add more to make it more drizzly. And then since this is for an apple loaf, I feel like cinnamon would be good. So I'm gonna add in some cinnamon. All right, now let's add on our icing. It smells amazing. Should I cut into it? Yeah.